Are you looking to start your own podcast and you don't have enough budget? Guys, check out Anchor.fm. Anchor is used for recording, hosting, and distributing your own podcast. First of all, it's 100% free and it is very easy to use. All you need is to visit Google Play and download Anchor app, and you can start your own podcast. You can do this by the comfort of your home. All you need is a good content for your listeners, and you can record it easily to your mobile or PC. Guys, get started and have fun. Your story deserves a best platform, and Anchor is the best platform for it. Have a great day. Hi sir, welcome to my podcast interview Broken Motivation, and here this is Aadhith, and my podcast speaks about the importance in your life and how to recover from these, how to recover from your failures, how to recover from our problems, and how to reach success. And here is Jacob Lethbridge to speak about in my show, and welcome Jacob sir.
Thank you for having me.
Hello sir.
I said thank you for having me.
Thank you sir. So tell me sir, tell me some tips for the listeners how to recover from the failures, and tell me about your career and what are all the failures you faced and how do you recover from those failures.
So you're asking how to recover from failure?
Yeah, give some tips for the listeners.
So my biggest tip for recovering from failure is to not think of failure as failure. To me, failure is nothing more than a learning experience. And every entrepreneur, every business person, any YouTuber, anyone who creates any kind of content and who's looking to get to that next level will undoubtedly meet with some type of failure. But the way you look at it, and my biggest tip is the way you perceive your quote unquote failure is the way you're going to move forward in your life. So if you look at failure as more of something that's a learning tool or a lesson to say, okay, this is not the right way to do something, and you use it as a teachable moment to say, okay, now I'm going to move forward. I'm just not going to do that again. So my biggest tip is failure is not final unless you make it final.
Oh, very good sir. So do you have any type of inspiration for you in your life? So what is your career actually, sir? What is your career? So how do you decide your career when you are young? So you might have set your goal in your life. So I would become like this, or I would like to achieve like this. And what are all the problems you faced in your life during this period when you are reaching your goal?
So you're asking what my career is right now?
Yeah, you may have set your goal in your life.
So right now, I'm a motivational speaker, author, and content creator. I have published 4 courses right now on udemy.com. And I'm an author, so I've written a book called Make Today Matter, a guide to living your life to the fullest. And during these times, especially during COVID, I've noticed that if anything, now is the time for anyone who wants to start an online business to start going with it, because our world is changing. And even as a speaker, as an NLP practitioner as well, a life coach, I focus on getting people to that next level of success. And what drives me is the possibility of knowing that whatever circumstance you're under right now, the only way it's going to change is if you change yourself. So if you want to make a difference in the world, if you want to make a difference in your income, if you want to make a difference in your happiness levels, you have to look at what you're doing day to day and figure out where you want to be. Without a clear goal in mind, without a clear outcome in mind of where you want to go, where you want to be, you're never going to get anywhere in a quick amount of time. You have to focus on where you're going in order to get to where you want to be. If you're just kind of wandering, saying this is something I might like to do, or maybe I should do this, and maybe I'll just do it on my own time. The people who are committed and the people who are getting up every day and working toward their craft are the people who are going to get there a lot faster. So with me, especially when it came down to, motivational speaking, creating content, and writing my book, it was just that consistent action day over day to get to that next level of success. You're not going to get anywhere if you don't put in the work.
Yes. Actually, so I am just beginner, sir. Actually, when I'm not I'm like I do not have any experience with this podcast conducting interview, and recently only I have started during the end of May and during the first week of June I started my podcast. I have an interest in podcast recording, so I started it, and after I recorded consistently with some content, and right now I have reached about 1,700 total plays, and I'm still going with this recording. And so what to for me, I am very interested in recording and content creating, and for me what to say to the listeners, actually we may have many problems, we do not know what to we may not know what is our talent, but we should first identify our talent, and we should like to improve our talent, so then only we can reach our goal easily. Without knowing what is our talent, we cannot simply reach our goal, because we may not have interest on the process which we are going right now. So we should find our talent, what is actually, and we should create an interest in those talents, and we should move on in our life.
I totally agree, and it's exciting to hear that that consistent action that you had since May is really starting to grow your podcast. So I'm really happy about that.
Thank you, sir. So do you have any inspiration in your life? For every people, they might have some inspiration in their life. I want to be like this person. I want to be like this person. I want to achieve the fame like this person. So do you have any like that of inspiration in your life?
So the biggest inspirations in my life have been Bob Proctor, Tony Robbins, and other motivational speakers like that. And honestly, the biggest motivation that gets me out of bed each morning is my daughter, knowing that every day I have to grind, I have to work hard so that she can live a life better than the one that I've lived. And I think that's a really important thing to point out, because if you don't have a strong enough reason why you want to do something, there's no motivation there. Right now I'm really studying Tony Robbins again. He's been a huge inspiration in my life, and just the energy that he has and the passion that he has for what he does is something that I have as well. I'm every day when I wake up, I think, okay, today I'm going to change somebody's life around the world, whether it be through one of my courses, a podcast, whether it be my YouTube channel, or even my book. You never know who you're going to reach, but at least you're out there reaching people. And I'm so excited because each day I wake up, I might see a new review on something. And when I see that, it's like, okay, this is fantastic. It's reinforcing my reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. My passion is to help people around the world change their life for the better, so that together we can change the world for the better. And if we do that together, we will have a tremendous world that's filled with as much peace as possible.
Sir, my next question is, if you could change one thing that happened, so what would it be, sir? In your life, if you could change one thing that already happened in your life, So what will be better?
So if I could change anything, it would be when my son passed away. I mean, there's nothing more than I would, love than to have my son around. But unfortunately, he passed away in 2016, and that's the only thing I would change. I mean, a lot of people go through life and they think about all these different things that they would want to change, but in the end, whatever happens, I believe everything happens for a reason. And I wouldn't, I was growing up in school, I was bullied, I was picked on, I had low self-confidence, and I wouldn't change any of that because it made me who I am today. Seeing other people getting put down constantly, bullied. I mean, I would walk into gym class and people would throw basketballs at me. And I wouldn't change any of that now because it's given me that kind of perspective to look back and say, okay, that happened to me. What can I do to make other people's lives better? And the same, as like, I would love to have my son back, and I would love to just, be able to hold him in my arms again. But even with his passing, I still look at, okay, what was the reason behind this? What drove it? And if anything, it's enhanced my speaking ability. It's enhanced my reason for doing what I do, because I want to help more people get out of their negative slumps. I want to help them change their mindset, build up their confidence, and know that it's okay if you don't know where you're going sometimes. It's okay if if you're afraid of taking that next step. It's okay because I've been there. It's okay if you don't know what to do, but I want to help you get there, and I want to help you get to where you need to go, so that way moving forward in your life, you don't get bogged down by negative experiences. So I help people turn those negative experiences into positive outcomes.
Oh, very good, sir. Very good, sir. So, during this pandemic period, actually, we are facing a pandemic period right now. And during this pandemic period, many of the people are so quite a long time they are staying in the home itself. So during this period, many people may be depressed or they do not know what to do. So many people staying in the home, they are so much depressed, and many people are we might have known that many people are committing suicide. So what you want to tell to the listeners about this kind of how to overcome this kind of depression during this period?
So I think that the reason most people are getting depressed during the lockdown period is because they don't know what to do with themselves. They've gotten into a slump of just watching TV all day or not doing anything productive. I mean, when the pandemic hit, everyone was so used to doing their regular routine day in and day out. Get up, have your coffee, go to work, come home, make dinner, go to bed, and repeat. But now, with the pandemic happening, it's thrown a wrench into that. And it's changed people's routines in such a way that they're so used to the former habit that they were doing that they don't know what to do with themselves now. Now that they're home, now that they, maybe they've lost their job, they don't really know what to do in this circumstance. And what I would say is take this time to really focus on what makes you happy. If you, whatever you think about, you attract into your life. So if you're constantly thinking, I don't know what I want to do next, you're going to manifest that in your life. So my biggest advice for someone who might be feeling depressed right now is start a gratitude journal. Just being grateful first thing in the morning is going to make such a difference in your overall attitude. And another thing I would suggest is starting a victory log. So anything you do that is successful during the day, write it down, and over the course of the next month, you'll see that you've had a lot more wins than losses, and that will help boost up that self-confidence, boost up that joy, and motion creates emotion. So get moving. Sitting around all day is going to make you feel more sluggish. It's going to make you feel more like you're not getting anywhere, sad, depressed, anxious. If you have that capability, Even just doing 20 minutes of exercise every day is going to drastically change not only the way you look, but also the way you feel about yourself. And if you're someone who's at that point where you're very depressed and you feel like you can't even get out of bed, and you're just listening to this podcast thinking, okay, maybe something in here can help me, but I don't have the motivation to get out of bed even, then take it small. I always encourage people to start with small steps and build over time. So if you're someone who's maybe laying in that bed and thinking, I'm really depressed right now, and I don't know what kind of win I can have from here, even just getting out of the bed and taking a shower can be a win for you today. And don't think that you need to have some big, gigantic win in your life in order to feel happier. It's just the small successions of little victories that add up over time to increase your mood, to increase your happiness, and get you to that next level of moving out of that depression state and into a state of being happier and being more alive, doing what you want to do. So start with the small steps and get moving, and you'll see dramatic changes in your life.
Oh, very good, sir. Thank you, sir. And so I would like to ask that so many people are during this present time, so they keep on worrying about many youngsters are worrying about their past and worrying about the future, and they're spoiling their present moment at now. So this present moment, worrying about the past and future, will create an effect on those youngsters' mind, and that also leads to a depression. So what is your view about this, sir? Like worrying about the past and worrying about the future without enjoying the present moment?
So great question. I think that if you're someone who's worrying about the past and worrying about the future, you're not living in the present. The only time that we really have is this moment right now. So if you think about the past, there's nothing you can do to change it. I learned that, like I said, after my son passed away, I can't go back and change that circumstance. It's happened. It is what it is. And if you're worrying about the future, I like to say that worrying about something that hasn't even happened is going to create more worry. Focus on today. Focus on what you can do right now to change your life moving forward. Because worrying is nothing more than fearing something that's never even happened. I'll say that again. Worrying is fearing something that hasn't even happened. So you're creating this mental picture in your mind of the worst case scenario, essentially, and it's causing you more worry, more anxiety, when in the present moment, that hasn't even happened yet. So you have the power right now to change the way that your future is going to go. So if you're someone who's finding yourself thinking about a worrying situation that could be coming up, I want you to take a step back, take a deep breath or a couple deep breaths, and just focus on the present. Ground yourself and say, I have the power in this moment to change the way my life is going to be, and I choose to think positive thoughts. So instead of thinking about the worrying that's going to happen and worrying about something in the future, change that around and focus on the positive side of it. What would happen if you flipped that worrying situation around to the positive? What if you thought about the best case scenario? And if you're someone who's too focused on living in the past, you have to get out of there, because the past is the past. You cannot change it. Every second that goes past, you can't go back and get that back and change it. So you have to let it go. I like to use the visualization technique whenever I think about something that happened in the past. I like to just imagine myself holding a couple of chains and just letting them go and letting it fly away, because there's nothing I can do to change that. So if you can let go, symbolically let go of the past, then you're going to move yourself more into that present moment. And if you want to be present, you have to focus on your breath. You have to just look around and appreciate what you have around you in this moment and start to live like that. Even going around and writing down things you appreciate, things you're grateful for in this moment. You know, it could be the smile of your child. It could be a hug from a spouse. It could be, you know, pretty much anything you want. You know, maybe you're playing a video game right now. Maybe you just, you know, got that special item. Be appreciative of the now moment. And you're going to start seeing dramatic changes happening, and you're going to feel better in the end.
Oh, great motivation from you, sir. And so if I want to say is worrying about the past is not an option, sir, because many people worry about the past, like it could have been like that, it could have been done like that. So they are not enjoying the present moment, like okay, this is our moment. Because during this pandemic situation, like we should not worry about anything, sir. Life can be today and we can, so tomorrow we cannot be there. So at the present moment we should enjoy our moment, sir. And if you take the future, so don't worry about the future. The future will always will be waiting for you when you do a present moment up to the task. So, and what I want to convey is, if you have any failures, so don't worry about the failures. It's all it should happen in your life. Failure should happen, and when you worry about the past, the failure could not be changed again. So just correct those failures and try to reach those success in your life. And my next question is, so many people have the idea when they pursue their career, they will have the idea of quitting in the middle itself. So that's not what we say, like it should not be done. So when you are pursuing your goal, you should not quit it in the middle, like I would have faced many failures, so I'm quitting it. So what is your view, what you want to tell about this quitting in the middle itself when you are pursuing a career, sir?
Sorry, can you rephrase the question?
So when you are pursuing your goal, like I should become like this, and you have started your career, and in the middle you are facing many failures, like you could not bear it, and you are quitting it. So that's what is your view about it, sir?
So
quitting in the middle.
I think that every person in their career, they go through a transition phase. You know, you might especially like think about my career, for example. Like I started out in sales, and I got fired from that job because I wasn't making the sales at that time, but I didn't look at it as a failure. I looked at it as an opportunity to enhance my sales ability. So I started studying more about sales. As you go through your career life, you know, whatever you might be doing, you know, I always find that quitting is never a good option unless it's, you know, you're in a violent situation or harassment, something like that. But the key is persistence. You know, Napoleon Hill talks about it in his book, Think and Grow Rich. Persistence is the key. You have to consistently go after what you want to achieve. If you have a goal and you have a strong enough reason why and a big enough desire on why you want to achieve that goal, then the only thing that you need is persistence to go after it. If you've decided, I'm going to be a millionaire, then you have to decide and be persistent in achieving that goal no matter what happens. You know, it's the same with any type of sales. If you say by the end of this week, I'm going to make 20 sales, then you better get out there and work your butt off to get those 20 sales. You know, if it's Saturday night at 10 o'clock and you've got 19 sales, are you going to stay up and are you going to get that last sale? Or are you going to go to bed and then say you didn't achieve your goal? You know, you have to think about persistence is key to getting you to that next level of success. If you strongly desire whatever your goal is, you have to have the persistence when failure comes up, and believe me, it will. When the failure comes up, you have to have that persistence to move forward and to keep pushing. You have to burn your bridges behind you, and you have to just keep going.
Wow, great motivation, sir. And so could you Are you interested in asking some questions to me, or like some questions to me so that I can speak about it?
If you want, I can ask you some questions. That's fine. How would you define success?
Success, when we come to defining success, it's not like in our life success we face many failures, and there are many ups and downs when you are reaching success. Like without down we cannot reach our success, or without we consistently, if we are doing we are failing, we cannot reach the success. So life is both success is both about ups and downs. So if we face down, we will be having some ups in our life. So worrying about our downs is not an option, and we should forge ahead, like neglect all the obstacles that are reaching through you, and forge ahead to reach your goal. So that only we can don't worry about, first of all, don't worry about the negative emotions that you have are surrounding you. Like people will talk about you, or they will mock at you at any situation. Like if you reach success, also they will speak about you. If you fail, also they will speak about you. So they will keep on speaking about any situation. They'll keep on speaking about you at any situation. So do not hear about those people's. You should decide your goal, and we should march towards that goal.
Awesome. I don't really have any other questions for you. So do you have any final questions for me?
Yeah, so like final question is during this period, many people are they're too much attracted to social media, and many people are using this social media as a platform for gaining money or for their success for their career, and many people are using this social media in a wrong way too. So what is your view? Tell me those advantage and those disadvantage of using social media to the listeners.
So I think social media is a great tool, especially right now during the pandemic time, because you're able to reach more people around the world. The downside is it's getting more flooded than ever before, and there's a lot more scams coming out. Now, I don't like to focus on the scams. I like to focus just on content creation. So what can I create every day? I don't compete with other people. I create. So when you create, you get yourself in that mode of serving others. And if you just focus on serving others in the best way possible, then you're going to achieve success. Obviously study different techniques and tactics that you can do to increase your viewership, but I think social media is a fantastic tool to help other people, especially if that's your main way of communicating with people. It allows you to reach customers and clients around the world at any time of day and increase your sales that way as well.
Wow, very good. So if we take this social media, like many people, like we would have known recently, like this online games and online, many people are using this online name as a fake. So they are trying to make money with this fake app, and many people are being cheated. So people should have an idea, like this is a real website or this is a fake website. Can we invest our amount in this real app, or are we investing in this fake app? And people should have an idea about that. So without that, these people are using, especially during this period, many people don't lose their job, and they do not know how to make income without moving to job. So these people, what they do, they will make those fake website, and they will start to make money. Those people who are interested in those websites, and many people are using YouTube as a best platform to come up in life, and many people are using this YouTube as an for stealing someone's house. So these YouTube videos are teaching those youngsters how to break the lock, or how to move into someone's house, or how to cheat others. So these kind of people should avoid seeing these kind of videos, and they should use this social media as the best to pursue their career in their life.
Yeah, if that's what they want to do, if they want to be, if people want to build a business on YouTube, I strongly encourage them to do it. There's a lot of great YouTube channels out there that can help you build your YouTube channel. Tutorial videos that are out there, how-tos.
Okay, sir. So, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming to my show and having interview with me. And thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And I would like to conclude, so listeners. So after hearing man's speech, so try to get motivated with his speech and reach the success. So that you can lead a happy life in your life. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. If anyone wants to find me, you can find me on Instagram at Jacob Lethbridge. You can find me on YouTube at Jacob Lethbridge. And you can go to my website, www.jacoblethbridge.com. I have a bunch of free resources there that people can use. And if you want to head over to Amazon, you can find my book. It's called Make Today Matter, a guide to living your life to the fullest. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, sir.